This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey. Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I...
Oh yes! A lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we supper. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election, believe it or not. Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you, it's your boy Padmore. Unity is the key. We are all one and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry we must feel the pain. We're Portuguese, African and Indian. We're Chinese mixed up, we're Amerindians. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. I'm talking about the one Guyana, where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. It's a message I just want you to understand. Stop and think for a minute. Really think for a minute. If we can't fix the present, then we should work on the future. Oh yes! A lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana, where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. All we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we supper. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election. Believe it or not, Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you, it's your boy Padmore. Unity is the key. We are all one and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry we must feel the pain. We're Portuguese, African and Indian. We're Chinese mixed up, we're Amerindians. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. I'm talking about the one Guyana, where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. It's a message I just want you to understand. Stop and think for a minute. Really think for a minute. If we can't fix the present, then we should work on the future. Oh yes! A lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana, where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we supper.
Good morning, guys, and welcome down to a special program of Livewire. We're a little late this morning as we wait for Minister Hamilton to get signed into the studio. We're going to kick things off in the meantime as we wait to hear from Minister Joseph Hamilton in relation to the allocations for the Ministry of Labor for 2024. And we're looking at 1.293 billion going to that ministry to touch on a host of things. We have of training centers, boosting of the occupational safety and health department. Also, as you would, some persons might know, then some persons mightn't know. We also have the BIT program, which falls under the Ministry of Labor, and they have been very impactful since President Ali's administration would have uh, regained the seat of power here in Guyana through the elections there that concluded in 2020. As you know, Minister Hamilton has been very active on the scene, ensuring that the youth of Guyana, they are trained, especially with the current trajectory that Guyana is on, infrastructural development, development of the oil and gas sector, and basically things. No, Mukesh Vishnu, that we're not doing this every Saturday. It's in relation to budget and to facilitate as many explanations as possible in relation to the allocations for 2024 to the various sectors. We're going to be going above and beyond. So that's why we're here this morning to give the minister an opportunity to share with you how the allotment of over $1 billion to the Ministry of Labor will assist in furthering training of youths here, or the younger generation here in Guyana for the future, looking into labor issues, ensuring occupational health and safety is properly taken care of, and also job fairs. And there's supposed to be a where is that? I had that information right here recently. It's a information window, but I'll let the minister explain in further details when he gets on. But as I said, they have been doing a lot of work through the Ministry of Labor, and we're hoping. I don't know why StreamYard behaving so terrible these days. They're giving people a hard time to get on. But the minister, he's here. However, we're having a bit of difficulties logging into our StreamYard. So just bear with us for a few minutes. Morning to all the persons tuned in already. Who we have here? Anthony Wong joining us from France. Rose Takur Brijlal. Leroy Mangal joining us from New York City. Tracy Martindale joining us from Bartica. We have Mukesh Vishnudat joining us. Lynette Cornelius joining us from Linden. Cecil Rampasad, good morning to you, and thank you for being here. Tara Subrian, good morning to you. Patty Prasad, Patty, good morning to you as well. Where's this thing gone? Aliag Mohammed, good morning. Sherwin Siram, morning to you. Pam Singh, Jamila Kayum, Miss Ramcharan, good morning to you. Lance Henry, good morning to you, and welcome down to this special Saturday broadcast to Livewire with none other than the Honorable Minister of Labor, Joseph Hamilton. And who else do we have here? Nirmala Allen, Lachu Mahabir, Gil Ian. Good morning to everyone. Rajin Datadin joining us from New York City. Good morning to you. Keith Adams, morning. Guys, share the live. And if we can't get the minister on video, we'll most likely do audio and just have the interview, so at least you guys can hear from the minister in relation to how we'll move forward. So give me a few minutes. Let me check in with minister to see how the logging process is coming, and I will be back with you shortly. So I'll leave you with some music and share the live. We have Minister Hamilton this morning to share in relation to allocations to the Ministry of Labor through the budget 2024.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so
I'm very sorry for the technical glitches we have.
Right. No problem, Minister. The technology is advancing at a rapid pace, and I've been having some trouble with the StreamYard myself. Just a second, Minister. I see some persons commenting no sound. Guys, just let me know in the comments if you're hearing us clearly. Okay, great. So again, welcome to the program, Minister. Over $1 billion budgeted for the Ministry of Labor. It is known when you took over this ministry, it was a department. So you had to reestablish the ministry. You were very instrumental in getting the apprenticeship program back on track. BIT is now churning out thousands of trained Guyanese in various fields, Minister. Could you speak of some of the accomplishments of 2023? And then let's look at how your allotment for 2024 will help you to further these advances you've made last year.
Okay. Good morning again, Courdel, and let me say thank you for having me and the persons who are listening in. Now, the Board of Industrial Training, we have several departments, and if I can start with the Ministry of Labor, rather, we have several departments. But if I can start with the Board of Industrial Training and put it in context, some people might ask why we make continued comments about the numbers of persons we have trained. When we took over government in 2020, under the Granger government, the average persons trained, average, for the 5-year period was between 1,300 to 1,500.
Wow.
That was the average. So they were training 1,300 to 1,500 persons maximum yearly.
Right.
Second issue was, it was not giving service to young people in the hinterland and riverine communities and many rural communities. It was more a Georgetown-based Region 4 activity, some sprinkling training in some other regions.
Right.
We set out to ensure that we can give all persons, wherever they are, the necessary training. And so first thing we had to do is expand the ministry after its reestablishment.
Right.
We couldn't just reestablish and keep it just as a coastal-based ministry. And that is what it was. This department was basically just a coastal-based operation.
Right.
So we moved to establish labor offices in every region. And as I speak to you, every region except for Region 8, we have labor offices. In some regions, we have 2 offices. Like Region 5, Region 6, Region 3, Region 10. We have 2 labor offices based on how the regions are set out, as we know.
Right.
So we have moved from average 1,300 persons, and if you use Granger 5 years, the maximum persons they would have trained if we use 1,500 would have been 7,500 maximum if we use consistent 1,500 per year.
Right.
Now in 3 years, we have already trained nearly 12,000 persons.
Wow.
And that is the difference of the operationalizing it, expanding it to every region. Every region we have had training programs, and every sub-region, I dare say. So if you go to Quito, Parmakotay, Kurukubaru, those are the highest points where people live in Guyana, on the mountains. the Paparaima Mountain,
Correct.
they would have experienced training program. You go into the rivers, whether the Pomeroon River, the Mahaika River, that's in Cuthberts, the Maiconi River, Maracaibo, the farthest reaches of the Quarantine. That's the two villages, Oriala Siparuta, Region 10, the Borbis River. We have an officer for Kwame. And an officer. So that is how we've been able to expand this program. The other important element of the program is collaboration, both with sister ministries, government agencies, private sector, and other stakeholder organizations. We have executed a program in Linden where our partner was the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Okay.
Training scores of persons.
Wow.
And so we have several MOUs with partners, religious, young people groups, women groups, and we have MOUs with some important stakeholders. We have an MOU with the police force. And I explain that so that people understand. Because we have had this issue over the years where young men join the police force, maybe at 18, they spend 10 years, and when they leave the school police force and other disciplined forces, they have no skill. So we have had programs around the country where several policemen and women participated in our training program. Many of them now are licensed heavy-duty equipment operators.
Wow.
Many of them are skilled plumbers, IT people. So the police force, they have dozens of IT persons now, both male and female, who were trained by BIT. If it's Amerindian affairs, actually every young man or woman that is a tractor driver and service person in all the Amerindian communities, they were trained by the Board of Industrial Trade.
Wow.
So that is the difference. We moved from a place where in 5 years, the maximum number that the previous government would have trained or could have trained was 7,500. And just in 3 years, we have trained nearly 12,000 persons through the length and breadth of that.
Wow.
And we have had several collaborations. We have had collaboration with international partners. We did a program funded by the IDB in partnership with GEA. And as I speak to you, we are preparing to do a program funded by the World Bank to train women as PV technicians. So it is not just the sister agencies and ministries. We have executed projects funded by international organizations. We are about next week Thursday, I think, we'll be signing that is BIT, an MOU with UNHCR to train Venezuelan migrants that they will pay for.
Wow.
So that is the sum total of what we have done. And importantly for heavy duty equipment operators also, we work with the police to ensure all the persons we train are licensed. Because it's useless you train the persons and they will cannot get a job in any sector because they're an unlicensed heavy duty equipment operator. When I came to government, that was the case. You had many persons who were good heavy equipment drivers, but they are not they weren't licensed.
Right.
The other thing we have done, Courdel, is the HDU program. We have added other equipment. So when I became minister, the two piece of machines people were trained on was just the excavator and the skid steer that we call the bobcat. We have added now forklift, and we have procured forklift for them to trade.
Nice.
We have added front end loader, and we have also added tractor. So we moved from 2 pieces of equipment to where now the trainees would be experienced and trained on 5 pieces of equipment.
Nice, Minister. And recently I spoke to 21 youths, or over 20 youths, coming from Kitty just after the presidential outreach. I saw you there explaining the BIT program to them. They are so excited to get on board with BIT and learn the heavy duty operators course.
Well, just yesterday, that program was launched yesterday. 42 of those young persons.
Wow. Wow.
Which include 4 females.
Wow.
4 young females. 42 persons. So that program was launched yesterday, and it will commence Monday.
Wow. Now, Minister, let's jump over to occupational safety and health. What's going on in that area there?
Okay. OSH, again, I like to put these things in context, because people might be saying you're just tooting your horns unnecessary. Look, we were told in 2015 that Guyana found oil. And at the same year, APNO AFC went into government. When we came back to government in 2020, what you will note in all sectors, there was no preparation for Guyanese to participate in the oil and gas sector. So at the level of OSH, there was no training done, neither locally or internationally, for OSH officers. The OSH department just had 9 officers. I was making a point where it was just a coastal operation. I can say the same about OSH. It was just a Region 4 coastal operation, because 9 officers cannot supervise this country.
Indeed.
So they couldn't do it. It's impossible. The other thing is, so we have moved that staffing complement OSH authorized from 9 to 32.
Wow.
9 to 32.
Wow.
And actually, every region now we have an occupation safety and health officer also. Local people that were react to recommendation via the region, they come, be trained, and we send them back to work in their region. So all our officers in every department are born and bred people of their region. All our officers, because we thought it was the most important thing to do if you want to build skill and if you want to expand the ministry. So we have authorized now 32 OSH officers, and we're still recruiting as I speak to you. Just about 3 weeks ago, 2 new persons joined the OSH department, and
right.
that will continue. We have had persons participate in international training programs in the oil and gas area. We have had persons trained in the maritime area. And I tell you this, that the officers were not even aware, Courdel, that they have responsibility in the maritime zone as occupation safety and health officers.
What?
They were not even aware that the same way how you have GRA officers and MARAD going on ships when they enter Guyana, occupation safety and health officer, they have the same responsibility.
Okay.
So we have had people trained by MARAD. We have had people go overseas to Trinidad and train, and oil and gas. And we have now, importantly, We don't have to send people overseas anymore to be trained in the area of oil and gas forces. We have a Guyanese migrant who have set up a fantastic facility at Lusitania, world class. And just the other day, about 5 of our persons went there to be trained in the oil and gas area, in the NEBOSH and TBOSH training that are necessary to participate as an OSH officer in oil and gas. We have had specialized training for our people in construction, in agriculture, in mining, and we have several joint technical committees with partners, Exxon, with AmCham, with the GGDMA and GGMC, and several others. And they have been very useful and helpful, supporting us, that is the OSH department.
Right.
Importantly, because of that engagement, training, and development in both public sector and private sector, we have had entities that didn't even know they should have had. Health and safety committees. We have had health and safety committees set up in government agencies and private sector agencies. Over the period, some 200 and odd health and safety committees we have set up, and we have done training. These training are free of cost for public sector or private sector, and shepherd them to establish their health and safety committees across the country. In every region, we have been doing that. And the work we have done, the evidence is there that it has contributed to knowledge and development and a reduction of workplace deaths.
Right.
So 2020, when I became minister, we had 32 deaths in the workplace.
Wow.
As I speak to you, in 3 years, that has declined by 37%. Last year, we moved from 32 in 2020 to 2023. Just 20 persons lost their lives in workplaces. Of course, that is 20 too much.
Yeah, indeed.
And we have to continue to work with agencies to ensure that that number comes to zero. So we have done a lot of work in the mining districts, a lot of engagement there, and in construction, because most of the deaths, workplace deaths, happen over the period in mining and in construction.
Correct.
So we are making some progress. We have made progress, and that is, you could see that around the country. What we want to do with OSH this year is to engage the mining sector with the Ministry of Health to see if we can have first aid type training done for people who work in mining, at least every mining site or mining sites that are close by. They should have a person who have an understanding about first responder type of understanding and first aid. Because many times the person might have died not because of the accident, but because of the handling after the accident.
Right. Yeah.
So we hope to execute that program along with GGDMA. We have spoken to GGDMA already, and GGMC. We have this joint technical committee, and we hope to have guidance given to us from the Ministry of Health how we can execute that program in mining and also in forestry, because that also is a dangerous area. We have expanded for the first time in Guyana, Courdel. Occupation safety and health, they're paying attention to the agricultural belt. That has never happened before now.
Wow.
So at the level of our stage, those are the things we are doing, we continue to do. We have trained several of our people who are now certified ISO standard 4501 lead auditors. That means they have the skill to investigate different sites and whether before accident or after accident.
Right.
So that training and development will continue for our staff, because my idea is we should have specialists in the department. So in every sector, we want to have people who are specialized in the different areas at the highest level. And so we will work with them to do that type of development. We have had conversations with the ILO, they have already given us some support. They have made available to us $50,000 of equipment.
Wow.
To do recording of these diseases and that kind of thing. Right. And we continue to have that conversation with them. We hope that they can help us to remodel our legislation that can encompass all the new sectors that are with us.
Right. So, guys, if you're just joining the live, we're listening to the Honorable Joseph Hamilton, the Minister of Labor, as he shares with us some of the accomplishments of 2023 and what's on the cards for the Ministry of Labor for 2024, and discuss a bit about the budgetary allocations. Minister, I'd like to jump in now to the labor market integrated system, and that is to be developed this year. Could you share a little bit about that, how it works, and how that will impact the lives of Guyanese?
Okay, again, context is important, Courdel. So you have this important department that should have been in the ministry. When I became minister, you had just two persons. So the staffing, again, complement inadequate to do what must be done.
Right.
They had no facilities to execute this task. So what we have done is that through the Office of the President, through the President interaction and intervention for that matter, we brought in an expert from India to help us to develop this department and to deal with the issue, because you cannot talk about, and I see one MP glibly asking questions in the parliament about this matter. You cannot talk about this matter without first putting it in context, and secondly, talking about how you're going to stop it.
Right.
Right. What have we done? What did you leave? You have left nothing up no AFC for us to build on.
No,
so we have to build and give service at the same time and develop structure.
Right.
So we are now developing. We have some data that is being collected by the expert going into private sector, public sector. So now is the first time, Courdel, we have data that we can start to work with.
Right.
To deal with the LMIS. It didn't exist before 2020, at least when I joined. So that is an important execution, duty to execute. That will be tied in with the CRMA. We launched the job bank
right
about 2 years ago. So that also will be tied in with the labor market information system, because it's not just training and development and making people employable. We have to discuss how their employment. So that's a holistic approach to this matter, where the job bank will be integrated into the LMIS system. And we hope that by the end of the second quarter, this system will be up and running. We have had partners contributing via data capture and collection. We have had the ILO along with us. They did some work in the oil and gas. We have had IOM did some work in construction. And just this week, a couple days ago, I received information from the I'm forgetting the name of the entity, but they deal specifically with developing Guyanese company to participate in oil and gas.
The local content secretariat?
Yes, the local business center.
Okay.
Right, the local business center. They have just done a study in 5 sectors about what we really need as regards technical training and skill set in the short term and medium term. I don't want to make the information available that they give me preliminarily until they present their assessment. They will present those documents, I think, next week to me. And of course, at that time, we'll make it public.
Right.
So Guyanese will have an understanding as to what has been happening. So that also, the local business center, they will help us also to develop the LMIS system. Among other partners, I hope to start conversations after budget with the private sector and all other stakeholders who can support this activity, because that is the only way it can be done, with both public sector and private sector working together.
Right.
So that we share information and we develop the type of data set that are necessary and important, so that training will be fashioned based on what the needs of the labor market is at. The problem we have, Courdel, that we have to change, all of us, the educational delivery end, is streaming children for the jobs of now and the future.
Yes.
It's useless. It's useless. We have a fantastic graduation of persons at the university every November, but we are training people by the scores and by the hundreds for jobs that will not be available.
Right.
There are several new jobs that we now have to cater for, we now have to train for. And we would hope that young people are paying attention so that they will not have to be on social media making the comment that they graduated years ago and they're yet to get a job.
Minister, please allow me to cut you. I have a comment here from Jasmine Baldio. She says she's talking to a friend in Guyana, and she says her friend's son has a degree in engineering and can't get a job in the oil and gas sector. Now, I know that the ministry has been working along with the private sector and hosting job fairs and things like that, especially having oil and gas companies there. Could you speak to this and some of the job fairs that were held?
The thing is, the job fair, they have been very useful. And for the young man who might have a difficulty, we have, that is the Ministry of Labor, we have a job bank. That is an application that you can go there and register free of cost. And we still do walk-in signing up. So we have a department of the Ministry of Labor that people, many persons, as I've said, now it is being made known. It wasn't known as it should have been known, but the job bank can be useful for this young man and all other persons who have an interest, because that is where you can go, put up all your credentials and register free of cost, and you have hundreds of companies that are registered on the job bank also. So that is a way of interacting with companies. So whether the young man or other young people who might have an interest, not just in oil and gas, in other sectors. The other important thing I need to say to young people, look, once you're looking for your favorite job in your the area you were trained in, I would advise you to find a job.
Right. At least have something coming in the meantime.
That's the point. And I say it. You have to find a job once you're looking for this specialized job you want. It makes no sense that you went to university, spent 4 or 5 years, you have a degree, whether first year, whether first degree, second degree, and all you do is bellyache about you cannot find a job. There are enough jobs in this country for every citizen to have a job. If you look at Courdel, I'm sure you pay attention to the Facebook and social media. In the last month, I have seen hundreds of jobs advertised.
Indeed.
Of all stripes and types. Companies are utilizing their Facebook page in oil and gas and all other areas.
Minister, just yesterday I posted vacancies.
Yes, that's the point I'm making. I just saw the people who will build the bridge in Linden. They posted vacancies for hundreds of persons that is in specialized areas.
Right.
So people got to pay attention. That I repeat, every Guyanese who wants a job could find a job as I speak to you. Whilst people on one hand saying they don't have a job, every sector is crying out about the deficit in technical skills in their companies. And that is an issue we're discussing with the private sector, and they're calling us every day. So, the way you do it, young people, is get a job until you find the job that is in the area of training where you cannot sit down and bellyache about you cannot get a job.
Yeah.
And I repeat, everyone who needs a job, they can find a job in this cooperative republic of Guyana as I speak to you.
Indeed.
No one should be unemployed in Guyana at this moment.
Indeed. No, Minister, I know your ministry deals with a lot of grievances between employers and employees, and sometimes, most times, broker settlements and things like that. Could you speak to some of that and how you guys will be continuing to ensure that employers and employees treat each other well in 2024?
Okay, again, context is important. Look, Courdel, I tell you, I asked my officers for my budget presentation. What I want to do is to speak to our 3 years in a re-established ministry and Granger 5 years with the Labor Department.
Yeah.
And they could not find, and I'm dealing with the labor sector, they cannot find any data to help me out in the 5 years. So we know, we can say deliberately that in 3 years, we recoup $160 million for employees from employers.
Wow.
160 million. I cannot find information that is reliable about if the APNU AFC and its staff, they did any such thing. Follow me?
Yes, Minister.
So last year alone is $69 million. $69 million we recouped for persons who were owed by employers. So sometimes I laugh and chuckle when I see people posting up and chanting on radio stations and wherever about what the Ministry of Labor is doing. we have been able to ensure that people got $160 million in their pocket. And let me say, some of these matters were outstanding matters under the Granger administration.
What? No, man, Minister, you're joking. What?
Some of these matters, we brought them to an end and concluded them, and people were paid. They were matters that were left hanging from the Granger administration time. So when they asked about what we are doing, we recoup $160 million in 3 years from employers for employees. Secondly, I think the sum total in 3 years, we, because of our intervention and the activities of the Labor Department and the Chief Labor Officer, we have had 22 collective labor agreements signed.
Wow.
That's a record. 22. We have employers, representative unions, and companies sit down at the same table who refuse to sit in the same room with each other in the 5 years under Granger. And we have had them sit down and iron out collective labor agreement. And I dare say this, the most progressive collective labor agreement presently in Guyana is that of the GTMT and the Postal and Telecommunication Workers Union.
Wow.
Because and that is what I was saying to labor leaders. These labor leaders are so outdated, most of them. All they do is chant about salaries when they're negotiating. That's the old way of engaging companies. They don't even discuss the safety of the workers to ensure that enshrined in the collective labor agreement are clauses that speak to the protection of the worker as from the OSA side. First point. Secondly, I've said to them, if you are skilled, you can get more out of the company than the change that you argue for. Ensure that you have its training and development as a factor in the collective labor agreement. The company will pay for. And so the GTMT, PTW, CLA dealt in a specific way with training and development of staff. And it goes further. It's a 3-year CLA. It goes further to speak to the elevation of salaries of staff who are qualified and trained. The percentage of salary increases. So that's a very modern, the most modern CLA in Guyana. And if people pay attention, you would know that the labor front is very quiet. So when people ask about what the Ministry of Labor is doing, you think the labor front is quiet because of the clouds. It is because of the intervention and continued mediation of the Labor Department, most especially the Chief Labor Officer and his skill set that he brings to the ministry and its aptitude. So you take $160 million just arrived just like that from people who didn't want to pay. You know?
Yeah.
So I laugh when people say what the Ministry of Labor is doing.
But Minister,
there are many people who can testify what we are doing.
Minister, you know what makes me laugh even louder? The fact that you had to go and put a labor office in Linden that the former government claimed to love so much, to deal with issues with the bauxite companies and whoever in that region. They never wanted to do that.
The thing is, Courdel, they had a labor officer who was a politician and not a labor officer. It's not that they did not have one. But properly, she wasn't one. Because she was more caught up in the green shirt politics than doing the work.
No, but I'm talking about the office. The office that was established up there.
There was no office. We had 2 offices. I mean, the thing was so impractical that you have an officer without an office. How will they function out of their bedroom? You know, well, so now we have 2 offices in Region 10. One in Linden and one in Pukani. Because you will know, a lot of people, when we talk about Region 10, they think that Region 10 is just
Linden. Yeah.
Linden is vast and wide, way back to the Borbis River.
Yeah.
To the far expanses of the Delaware River. But for most people who chant, when they talk about Region 10, the only thing they know is Linden.
Right.
So we recognizing that Region 10 is more than Linden. That is one of the regions where we have established 2 labor offices that now give service to the people. We have a CRMAS, recruitment officer, is in Linden.
Right.
We have had a co-op officer in Linden, health and safety officer in Linden. Never before that has happened.
Yeah.
And we will continue to develop and build the offices around the country.
Now, finally, Minister, before I let you go, staying the course, building prosperity for all, with all that you would have heard on Monday last from Dr. Ashini Singh during his presentation, the allotment to your ministry, your fellow colleague ministers and their ministries, do you think that we are indeed continuing the development agenda and the trajectory that Guyana is on, staying the course as the budget is aptly, the theme is named, and continuing to build this prosperity? Because you remember, I know you would remember, the Granger administration promised a good life for all, and very few saw that good life. So we've been seeing infrastructural development, we've been seeing advancements in healthcare, education, labor, occupational safety and health, these kinds of things. Do you think this budget and what it offers in over $1 trillion in funds to move Guyana forward, do you think it will stay the course that we're on?
Courdel, if you permit me, let me just say this. I think it's important, then I'll answer your question.
Sure.
Another project we have started is this. That's the co-op sector. We will ensure that every person who owns a property in a co-op scheme receive their title and their transport.
Nice.
I'll explain why. Myself, my colleague Minister, Attorney General, and Minister of Housing, Colin Crowell, we are working together to ensure that every person, persons who are living in a co-op scheme, you can come into the co-op department or go to the office in your region and make your application to us for transport and title so that we can send a no objection letter to the Ministry of Housing, CHPA,
right,
to process your transport or title.
Right.
The Ministry of Housing and the registry. Important that people understand. You have persons, they have properties that value 70 million. I'm using that number in co-op schemes. Let me use Melanie Damashana. That's a co-op scheme, the Alfred housing scheme.
Right.
But this $70 million property is useless because they cannot approach a bank for a loan because they don't have a transport or a title to that property. They cannot approach a bank for a loan for their children development, educational development, or if they want to venture into business. So people are hamstrung, and I'm talking about thousands of people are hamstrung around the country who have property in co-op scheme. So, and we have already started the process. We have started on the East Coast firstly. 16 of the villages, Courdel, on the East Coast are co-op societies, co-op schemes.
Okay.
16. And so we are working first on the East Coast, and that's a project that is an important project to empower persons in 2024, giving them access to their title and transport so that they can monetize the property they have. They can go get a loan.
Right, nice.
So that's an important project, and I urge persons to reach out to the Ministry of Labor, the co-op department, to ensure that you can have your title and transport process in the fastest time. Now, regarding staying the course, I saw some people, the Whites in the parliament, staying the course is a fun for them. And they're of the view that we should not stay the course. But what is working for you, that is where you continue to utilize.
Exactly.
The difference with us and them is that they were unstable in government. So whatever comes to do, that's how you run government. Government has to be focused. Government has to be deliberate. Every project builds on another project. You don't wake up and just say, okay, decide we will do things. It's like Patterson's wake up and decide we will do a 3-lane bridge instead of 4-lane bridge to go over the Delaware River. I mean, who does a 3-lane bridge?
Who does that?
Who does a 3-lane bridge? All the bridges that are done are equal size on both travel.
Yeah.
Travel. This guy, brilliant, scientific. he would have given us a 3-lane bridge. We would have been in the Guinness Book of World Records. The first country that has a 3-lane bridge. So the failure of the ACNU government is a multiplicity of things. But one important thing is that they had no vision. The president they had was not a visionary leader, was not a thinker, was not innovative. So all of them, they were just pedestrian in their ministries. They just, walk along the path. None of them thought it was important to get a car and drive and deliver things and develop things. And so they cannot understand our programs. They're incapable of understanding. And then they have this other thing. Every project we make public and start to execute, they say it was their project. The Lillian Bridge,
oh boy.
our project. It's our project. The 6-lane highway, Oval Highway, it's our project. The thing is with that project, we left $50 million and they did nothing with it.
Yeah.
That project.
Yes, indeed.
So they will continue, and the country shouldn't expect anything different than what they have been exposed to the last 3 years. When they come to their budget presentation, I can tell you the two themes of their budget presentation. One, they will speak to ethnic and racial and political discrimination. There's one theme. The second theme, they will talk about the budget as a friends and family budget, and it's a private sector budget. I mean, what is private sector about the children who are going to receive 45,000? I mean, what is the private sector? Is all the parents are private sector people, and the friends and families. I saw all the people receiving their house lots,
Yeah.
and all the young professionals who will receive their houses. Oh, okay, all of them are our friends and families. We are happy about that. That all Guyana who we are giving service are our friends and families. All the contractors who today can properly participate in the procurement process and get multi-million-dollar contracts that they could not even get $2 contract on the great government. All of those are our friends and families. All the roads that are being built in every village across the country, all the people in those streets are our friends and families. The people will have access to all of these new schools we are building and we have built. New hospitals and health centers.
Right.
All of those persons are our friends and families. And I can go on and on. And then you have these ignoramuses who says people cannot eat road. I mean, the ignorance is so much permeating the place.
Oh my goodness.
A road without a road, it might cause you not to be able to eat. You know?
Indeed.
Because a road network helps with transportation and delivery of goods and services. The cost of your greens is determined based on how easy the farmer can get it to market.
Exactly.
So ignoramus says if you didn't understand, all the countries that we grow about, that are developed countries, let us use the United States. The expansion and development of the United States happened because of road and rail network they established early on in their development as a country. That people can reach from north to south easily, and they can reach from west coast to east coast. And that is what you do. So road, river transport development, telecommunication development, all of these things are necessary. I heard one ignorant MP when the Minister of Finance was dealing with education, when he talked about how many schools, how many more schools we would build. She said, all they're doing is building schools. I mean, how can you be so ignorant?
Yeah, those statements, like, I can't understand.
My God, how can you? And you know what is said? This is a woman who took thousands of US dollars of the Guyanese people money to give herself a scholarship to do a master's program. I mean, seriously, you could do a master's program and you're so damn ignorant.
Probably it is submit your homework.
Yes, that you can chant against civil work in education. But that is the type of thing we will get from Monday to Friday. That is the type of thing. Nothing they will bring to the table to suggest to the Guyanese people how we can do things differently, how we can expand and develop, how we can ensure our people are trained in a more rapid way,
right?
How we can ensure our people have access to good health care. They will not bring those things. The same thing they said, Courdel, in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. It is the same things they will say in 2024. And we all in the media do this.
Indeed,
it's a very important exercise. Go and get the answer of every year when an MP from the opposition is getting up to speak and match it to what they will think. And you will see if it's the same thing, just the paragraphs are structured differently.
Man.
Because they have nothing to say as regards how to develop and modernize this country, so they will continue to chant the normal things they continue to chant. And I would say to the Guyanese people, whilst you take them serious, don't take them too seriously.
Yeah.
And the Guyanese people know differently. Persons who never owned a home, today they own a home thanks to the People's Progressive Partnership. Persons who never dreamt the family could have 2 cars. They even couldn't dream about one, much less 2. Today they have that in their driveways, thanks to the policy of the People's Progressive Partnership. So those are the things the budget in holistically speaks to development of the Guyanese people, and as the minister said, to ensure that every Guyanese family, they are in a position to take care of their daily needs and to develop themselves. At the level of the Ministry of Labor, we will continue to execute our programs and our projects and to ensure the development and of people in the communities. Importantly, I forgot to mention that we are, for the first time, that is Board of Industrial Training, Ministry of Labor. We are building our own training institute.
Nice.
So those are projects that will conclude by the end of the first quarter, so that in Region 6, in Region 7, in Region 9, Region 2, BIT will have training centers, Region 4. So we are expanding and we are developing, and we will continue to do that. As you asked about $1.2 billion, you know, the thing is, all ministers would glad to get more money, right?
Indeed.
We always want it, but at the $1.2 billion, I can assure you, we will put it to good usage to ensure that at the end of the day, we give service to the Guyanese people, because that is what we were elected to do, to serve the Guyanese people based on commitments we made to them when we campaigned to become a government in 2020. So, Courdel, thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much to the listeners. I'm sorry that we had the technical glitches. The next time when Courdel asks me to come on, you'll be able to see me, I am sure.
Yeah.
So thank you very much again for allowing me to come into your homes to speak to the sector, the Ministry of Labor, and our work in the last 3 years and what we plan to do in 2024. Courdel, thank you very much again.
Yeah, Minister, thank you for taking the time to be here with us. The viewers are asking for you to come again. They really enjoyed your presentation, and persons are looking forward to your presentations next week during the budget debates for 2024, as they are often, it is often full of flavor and some lashes for the other side.
I like to have fun. And you can expect a lot of fun, I can assure you.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to that, Minister.
Okay. All right, have a good day, everybody.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
So that was Minister of Labor Joseph Hamilton giving you the rundown of what's been happening in the Ministry of Labor and what's on the cards for 2024. And you heard the context that he gave, from a department to an entire ministry. All the just like in housing, a lot of issues left by the coalition government that the minister and his team had to come in, re-establish the ministry and deal with. And now they are progressing smoothly with those things. More persons being trained, the revitalized apprenticeship program, the job bank and the job fairs and all these other things that we can, the minister would have alluded to there. Guys, and especially Jasmine, please don't forget the job bank. If you guys are interested, especially Jasmine Baldio, you spoke of the young man not being able to find some employment, the engineer. The job bank, this is the website here, jobs@gov.gy. And you can go to this website, employers and employees. So persons looking to employ and persons looking for employment, You can go to this website, upload your information, and you can y'all ain't got no art in this comments, you know. Leave Annette and the CCJ. Stop it. That is for another day. We're dealing with budget, right? So you can go to this website here, upload your information, and they'll be able to match you with employers and employers with employees. Also, please feel free to visit the labor offices countrywide. You can also follow the Ministry of Labor's page and the Board of Industrial page on Facebook, which is the Ministry of Guyana. Y'all stop in the comments, you're confusing me. Hold. Oh my goodness. Leave the Guyanese hypocrite. Look. Anyway, sorry. Seriousness. So as I was saying, right? You guys please follow the Ministry of Labor Guyana page on Facebook. You can also follow the Board of Industrial Training Guyana, their page on Facebook as well. And again, on the screen there, jobs.gov.gy in terms of persons looking for employment. You can upload your information there, and you can also be able to the labor ministry will be able to better place you with employers with employees and employees with employers. Richard, no, we don't usually have Livewire today, but as I said earlier, we're making a special effort to have the ministers of government come here and explain to you how this budget will impact the Guyanese public, the landscape of Guyana, to show you that there's a plan that the Irfan Ali-led government is continuing to follow. You understand? Continuity. Not like the opposition when they were in government, jumping here, there, and everywhere, doing nothing to benefit the citizens, tangible benefits to the citizens, right? So in years to come, you'll still have the Heroes Highway. You'll still have the connection from Crane to Schoonard. You will still have the 4-lane bridge over the Demerara. You'll still have the 4-lane bridge linking Wisman and Mackenzie. You will still have the asphaltic surface from Linden to Mabur and probably all the way to Lethem by then, right? You will still have the gas to shore project that will bring down the cost of electricity and cooking gas and manufacturing costs for the industrial sector, right? We'll still have the soybean farm, which will be even more established than it is right now to provide feed for the local country sector. We will have food security. We will lower our import bill, so we're not importing broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots like we had in good. You understand me? What else we gonna be doing? Guyanese will own their own homes. Young professionals, low income, middle income, rich people, re-migrants will have their schemes to go to, right? Our oil and gas sector is budding and blossoming beautifully. The traditional sectors are seeing growth. Forestry, mining, agriculture. You understand? The commercial sectors are seeing growth. This was unheard of 2015 to 2020, right? Hard time struggle and a lot of bad mind people in government during that time. So now that we have persons working in the interest of Guyanese people, in the interest of moving Guyana forward, you understand me? We need to be appreciative of that. And as the minister said, we need to be aware as Guyanese, because some of us have this way. We want everything. Oh my God, thank you, Shakila. We planting onion. We never got import no more. We planting onion. Ginger, region 1. Right here. Right? Onion and ginger right here. So pretty soon we ain't got import nothing. We growing grapes. We growing grapes in Guyana. If y'all didn't know, we growing grapes in Guyana. grapes, right? Pretty soon you might see apples and all kind of thing here. So we ain't taking left, right? We are not taking left. Guyana is moving forward. We are developing in all spheres and sectors, and hats off to the government for continuing to do a good job. Guys, that's all the time we have for today. It was really great to be here with you this Saturday. Guys, I was supposed to share this since early in the week. They're looking for dry coconuts, and I don't mean Basil Williams. Genuine dry coconuts, the Guyana Marketing Corporation want, not Basil Williams, right? So if you are a farm or you have access to dry coconuts legally, please don't go steal nobody coconut off the land or nothing like that. If you have access to dry coconuts, they're looking for 100,000 dry coconuts weekly. The price is negotiable. The contact is Cocos Guyana, right? You have the number there, 610-3242. And I'm thinking you could probably drop this off at the central packaging facility there at the National Exhibition Center's Fire Grades Georgetown, right? So if you have access to coconuts, you're looking for some business, you know, guys, please check it out. And again, please, you're looking for work, check online, check the papers. Every day people hiring. It's better for you to have a little money in your pocket than nothing at all. So as the minister said, you mightn't find your ideal job now, but don't sit down at home waiting there. Contribute, make sure you can take care of yourself. You understand? Don't be like people at Congress Place who ain't want to work when the people elect them to office, who ain't want to do nothing but increase the salary and then do no work for no increase. Right? I done abuse for the day. Right? I go in, it's Saturday, it's supposed to be the relaxing day. We're working. Ensure guys know what's going on with this budget. Guys, be safe. It's Saturday. No drinking and driving. Be good, Guyanese. Monday, budget debate starting. So you know, yeah, next week the memes gonna be coming out loud. Be looking for Christina Max. I want to hear from Pessin Pato. I want to hear from Sharisha Duncan, who get knocked off by Gita Chan. And of course, you know, we're gonna hear from the Guyanese hypocrite. And next week we'll deal with CCJ and all these other things that we haven't touched on because our focus is budget 2020. So please make sure you tune into the budget debates for 2024, which starts next week Monday. This morning there's a farmers market at the Eve Leary there for the Guyana Police Force. You guys could check that out if you're looking for good greens and that kind of thing at a good price. Matter of fact, let me show you some photos from that. I think I saw some posted there quickly before I go. Some of the things, and I saw a price list too. The prices were amazing. So if you're interested, you could probably still go down there and check that out. Happening at the Guyana Police Force Eve Leary ground there. All right, so I got it here. Let me put it up on the screen for you guys. Yeah, and it goes by, oh my goodness, not a cent. Not a cent for it. Anyway, so this here is at the farmers market at Guyana Police Force there. You see the commissioner with some of the persons shopping, nice eggs and stuff on sale. A lot of people out there. So if you have some time, you could probably say, look at this one, Tremaine. Love of cheapness, but cheap but good stuff. I'm glad to see the commissioner out and about and his officers as well. You know, he's a very, very down-to-earth commissioner. He's always on the ground, meeting with the officers and the ranks of the Guyana Police Force, spreading wisdom, you know, and he has been putting forward a lot of initiatives since he was commander of a division, all the way up to Commissioner of Police, Clifton Hicken there, checking out some of the items there on sale at the farmers market hosted by Guyana Police Force, right? So these are some of the photos What crap? What? Yeah, I better go down there, man. A little music too. I guess that's the Guyana Police Force Steel Orchestra. They're out there as well. Former police officer Vive House. I think he's retired now. So yeah, coming out to enjoy the good, great prices. So again, this is at Ivlery. You guys could go down there and check it out. Where's the price board, man? Why you see the price board? Some of the prices. Another senior officer in the Guyana Police Force there. I don't reach back. I saw the price board somewhere. Let me check this one. Oh, police upload no photos, man. A lot of pictures. Minister Zulfikar there, Minister of Agriculture is happening as well. The subject minister. Yeah. Police doing well. Police doing well. The price board are trying to get to you so you could know where you're going down there and buy. Just give me a second. I'll flip through here quick. Everybody shopping. There's a boat operator from Region 3, but he's shopping up big. Everybody getting something for the house. And you know, the January is guava season, so we want nice prices. I'm sure they still that's the price board behind there. I think we are almost there. Let me see. What's this? What? The police photographer is a photo boss. He got the most photos. The most photos he got by. Okay, no, it's this one. I remember the place was a little dark. So they start from early people. You see what I'm talking about? Ginger. That's probably from Region 1. Right? Ginger. You have plants for sale as well. Nice mango. The Finlays were out there. Good to see. Well, I don't know the price list there. I can't find it, people. I'm sorry. I did. Okay, no, it's definitely this one. It's definitely this one. Let me get y'all quickly to that. I got y'all cow milk, eggs, everything. It's definitely this one. It's coming up just now. It's coming up. Give me 2 seconds more. All right, there we go. Right, so look at this price list. Okra $100 a pound, $300 for papa, $50 for cucumber, squash $200 a pound, pak chai $160 a bundle, carrots $260 a pack, ginger $600 a pound, balanji $200, bora $540 a bundle, cayenne banana $240, pumpkin $80 a slice. Remember they used to say pumpkin is Mr. Pumpkin, $80 a slice of pumpkin. You go to the farmer's market. Lettuce $180, callaloo $150, corilla $200, tomatoes $300, sweet peppers $440. Out of mercy for the celery price. But hey, celery is a big man generally. Plantain $200, eat some head on cassava $100 and $120 each. So those are the prices there. They're very reasonable. So you know, guys, you still have some time. You can run down to Ivlery here and check out mangoes for $40, so one and all kind of thing. Come on, guys, check it out. Lemons are $100. Check them out at the Ivlery police ground there at Ivlery. Farmers market happening there now. Right? Anyway, a gun for sure now. A done. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you back here on Monday. We want nobody at Bamba Mali. Y'all don't go there. That'll be good Guyanese. Anyway, peace, love, one Guyana.
Guyana got gold, Guyana got young, and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things. We growing wings and developing things. The government real, and that's a big deal. I'm singing from a heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. my home, the only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana, Guyana my country.